jua pengki, yun patisa, di juba ji kontka naga, kingbu mwa mulira dwana, kingba nikcha lora kun. Ki mulira kun king, tong hitwama agi inko tune, chiwi aita ka tong chicha, agi inko tune, chuna mulira, tong hitwama jikona, tong kipa nonku nek abog, chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo, kun mulira slimo poiwanga, tong hitwama ji, human ak in ikatune. Ichuta, yun patisa, kingba nikcha lora kun. Kakincha nawabagaon, bagwa siyang kontimachit ki mulira kun king, tong hitwama ag iinko tune. Ichuta, yun patisa, kingba nikcha lora kun, ki mulira kun king, tong hitwama ag iinko tune. Kakincha nawabagaon, bagwa siyang kontimachit
Force has given us a vision, like the one we shared on Tatooine. Did you see it? Of course. You must have. The Force is strong with us both. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes. The visions are as much yours as mine, and they are the key to finding the Starforge and stopping Malak. The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location. How can I help? Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged. Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly. The gift of the Force comes with a high cost. Sacrifice of one's emotional attachments is one of the prices a Jedi must be willing to pay. The alternative is to fall prey to the dark side. Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things. It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time. Very close. I was only a little girl when I left my family, but I still remember him fondly. He was kind and gentle and doted on me. My mother, however, was different. I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken. A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter. Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission. How can I help? I can try. What would you like me to recall? I shall do my best. Calm your mind and remember.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Tatooine's just a desert planet. I hear the mining isn't going so well. I bet the colony gets abandoned before long.
Well, that's all I can think of, at any rate.
You got it.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course. If there is anything else, I am here to help.
Hey there, what can I do for you? No problem. Anything else you need? Sorry, I don't have one handy right now. Besides, we've got plenty of security spikes already. Not much point in overloading on them, is there? Hey there, what can I do for you? I always heard Tatooine was nothing but a rock covered by a bunch of worthless sand. I can't even figure out why Czerka Corp set up their mining operations here. Sorry I can't be more help, you know? Is there anything else I can do for you? All I know is I'd like to speak to Griff myself. If we have time, I'd like to go talk to the Czerka Corp rep on Tatooine and see what he has to say about where my brother is now.
Yeah, what do you want? Here's a speed-boosting stimulant to help you get quicker. There anything else you need? Here's a speed-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Here's a stamina-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Here's a speed-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Here's a speed-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Here's a strength-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Here's a strength-boosting. There anything else you need? Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a stamina-boosting stimulant. There anything else you need? Hey, don't worry. I think you've got enough there as it is. You don't want to overload yourself on stims. Otherwise, you might destroy your adrenal system. A real warrior knows his own limits and doesn't overestimate himself. There anything else you need? Tatooine is one big desert, with rocks sticking out. I heard that some of my people came here after the war, but I don't know what happened to them. The world of my clan, Ordo, was much like this. Dust basins and rock crags. But my world at least has some green around the equator. This place is just sand all over. There are some vicious people on this world, but the desert is the real enemy. Trips out in the desert, especially the deep desert, should be taken very carefully. Do you have anything else you want to ask? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Czerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this. Czerka Corporation maintains this docking station at great expense. It is within our rights to refuse landing permission. And I warn you, we've had troublemakers before. The bay is lined with autoguns. Violence is not a survivable option. The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses. I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world. That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure? It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Czerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Czerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look. I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it. No, it's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Czerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempted sabotage by a rival company. Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business. Czerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it. Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however. Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals. The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate. Not personally, but they've given Czerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it. It depends on what level of risk you want to take. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could... I can't... That's not much information. Could you tell me more? You a digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by sand people soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know. There isn't much to... It's not a... It depends what I as you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Czerka Corporation has too much invested here to take chances with safety. We'll watch your ship like any other. The bay is safe. Czerka Corporation has too much invested here to take chances with... Move along. Move along.
Abuelta, Colo Duf, Ivan Rebu, Mikel Rimon. Undasta Shelfa, Ufta Gel Chief, Colo Dufta. Abuelta, Colo Duf, Ivan Rebu, Mikel Rimon. Dufta Dan Gelfa. Oi sidan gelfa. Tudun tuf blan van nibo gelfa. Oi sidan gelfa van inuga gelfa. Abuelta. Kolo duf divan rebu. Mikel irimo.
Business is up a little, so leave me to my work. You a swoop racer? Crazy fool. Czerka Corporation keeps me working. I don't care what else they do. Czerka Corporation keeps me working. I don't care what else they do.
Uchua penki, tangi tuamaji, human act in ikatune, chi itakanki, chana kilikon. Chiwa aita kanki, Baba Hassan Shan. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Ki muli ra kun king. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Chiwa aita kanki chana tupornibo. Kun muli ras limo poiwanga tangi tuamaji human act in ikatune chiwi aita ka chong chicha agi inkotune chuna muli ra tangi tuamaji kona tongki pa non kunek abog chiwa aita kan kicha na tupornibo kun muli ras limo poiwanga tangi tuamaji human act in ikatune Baba Hassan Shan. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha agi inkotune chuna muli ra tangi tuamaji kona tongki pa non kunek abog ki muli ra kun king Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Achua pengti, yun patisa. Di juba jikuta naga, kingbu mwa muli radwana. Kingba nikcha lora kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inkotune chuna muli ra. Tangi dwama jikona. Tongki pa non kunek abog chiwa aita kan kicha na tupornibo kun muli ras limo poiwanga tangi tuamaji human act in ikatune chiwi aita ka chong chicha agi inkotune chuna muli ra tangi tuamaji kona tongki pa non kunek abog Baba Hassan Shan. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inkotune chuna muli ra. Tangi tuamaji kona. Tongki pa non kunek abog. Chiwa aita kan kicha na tupornibo. Kun muli ras limo poiwanga tangi tuamaji human act in ikatune. Ki muli ra kun king. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Smilia! tingkuin ko ka, patoga yak fuli ko kala Gigi!